Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Scorpios, let's take a look at the topic. What is Scorpio's world supposed to look like? There's lots of life still up ahead. So, what is a possible timeline of like the best possible outcome that Scorpio should get to enjoy? We've got a King of Swords. We've got a pathway of truth. We may have someone supposed to be knighted or kinged or become, like dame or sir. If you're in like the British realm, perhaps. Um, it could also just be that we have someone who really wants to make things right with Scorpio. This could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius could want to give a massive gift or make Scorpio their person. We've got an Eight of Cups. It almost feels like Scorpio is supposed to be given some kind of authority or vested with some kind of importance, and that would allow them to like move in a new direction. This is it's like more personal freedom, more mobility. um this could be Scorpio is going to be gifted some inheritance or something, and then that in turn allows them, because of like a financial comfort zone or something, that allows them a chance. I'm also picturing somebody who's literally inheriting something of value, and if they choose to like sell it or something, that could create like a bit of wealth, and they can take some really important trip of their lives or change something pretty dramatic. Now, this could also be somebody that is given something that they can use to their advantage. Like, let's say now they can become their own business person, or God, we got a King of Cups upright too. So we have kings flanking this sense of freedom. This could also just be that Scorpio is about to be very sought after. They could be like their birthright, or the path that they should take, the path of who they should become is someone who will have a great deal of admiration and a great deal of choices to make. Now, every character should feel like they have choices. We should all feel so empowered, but sometimes we trick ourselves into thinking that we're not empowered. But this looks like there's going to be this awareness coming in. You have the Fool in the reverse. There is something here about like, this is not really sudden. This is not really like this brand new beginning. I don't even know if Scorpio would choose to do that much different with their life. Let's say a lifelong plan that Scorpio has always had. Like, someday when I inherit this, or someday when I have enough money saved up, my plan is to move here, to go there, to immigrate, to change something. So this, now that it's becoming possible, it just feels like, well, of course this is possible. If Scorpio was always supposed to be more like noticed and be more sought after, there's this piece of Scorpio that kind of always knows that this day was going to come. It's not to sound arrogant or anything, but I think that the Scorpio always knew that they were meant for more. They always knew that this day would show up. We've got a Queen of Pentacles. I keep seeing abundance. We have Five of Swords. They also have always known that someone won't like their sense of freedom, their ability to walk their own path, their autonomy, the gift that they're being given. It's like they've known all along that someone will probably be unhappy, jealous, or feeling like, hey, how come you get that? I should have that. Um, you know, someone's always going to be jealous about something, right? But this keeps feeling like Scorpio is going to be kind of rolling in dough, or rolling in comfort, rolling in like offers, and kind of be like the favorite all of a sudden, like the chosen one to receive these gifts, the person who will be able to kind of like keep their own integrity intact. And then because of that, sometimes it takes years for someone to finally be recognized for who and what they are, and then finally the resources start to pour in. It's like, wow, this Scorpio has always kind of like walked their path, but they're able to do so even more so now, and it feels like they're going to be really rewarded, really celebrated for that. Like, let's say this is a Scorpio who has always been, let's say, an artist of sorts, and they were kind of ahead of their time, but they went ahead and they kept creating. And they've always done it their whole life. So at this point, like maybe times have caught up to their brilliance, and now they're like, oh my God, everybody wants their art. Everybody wants to buy their, it's kind of like Picasso's and stuff, right? All of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I want this. Now Scorpio can like pick and choose who they want to sell their art to. They can pick and choose what they want to do with their money. They can pick and choose, and they have like stepped right into this legacy that they have painstakingly built all these years, but they just weren't recognized for until now. Like that's what this feels like, is a character who's going to be recognized for their talent or their greatness or the things that they've done a little bit later on in life. If this is, I mean, Scorpio could have two different people vying for their attention. This could be two different like individuals who suddenly both find Scorpio very, very attractive as well. And it's like, Scorpio kind of knew that this day would come. I feel like Scorpio has a certain amount of like swagger their entire life, but theirs was a more quiet and stable and consistent swagger. It's not that Scorpio is trying to like snag people's attention and allure them in. They're not playing coy games. They just are the real deal. But I feel like Scorpio somehow deep down has always kind of known that at some point there was going to be this awareness. Like Scorpio was like, I kind of always knew that at some point in time, we have the moon in the reverse. At some point I was going to be noticed. It was only a matter of time. I don't think that this is Scorpio being somebody who, you know, is full of themselves. I just feel like they have worked consistently and diligently being who they are. And they knew that even if it takes more years for me, or if it takes more months for these coworkers to notice that they're attracted to me, or, you know, sometimes whatever people are used to, and whoever is like, I'm picturing a scenario right now where like Scorpio goes to work at a career path. Maybe at first they're just the new hire, and Scorpio can summarize the company immediately and be like, well, I'm going to rise probably pretty swiftly to a place of prominence. I don't need to say anything. My actions will speak for themselves. I'll be diligent. I'll pick up stuff really, really fast. And I already kind of know that I can blast past what they're currently doing. I might be able to take on a leadership role because I can see where the gaps are in how they're doing stuff and how it should be done better. I just have like a natural ability to do this and see this, but I don't need to toot my horn. I don't want to make enemies on my way up the ladder. They will all recognize what I'm bringing to the table, how I do it differently. And I think it'll just naturally work out. And I feel like it's exactly what's going on. But the thing is, when this works out exactly the way Scorpio thought it was going to, there will be at least one person who's pretty damn jealous. This could be somebody that feels usurped. This could be somebody that feels really pissed off. Like, how come you're so sexy? How come you're so talented? You know, why the hell are you doing so much better when I was here first? It's going to be like everybody in the room notices Scorpio at the same time. And it's like, damn, we're in the presence of greatness all of a sudden. And I do think somebody's going to be pretty annoyed because Scorpio is stealing the spotlight. Scorpio didn't do anything other than work their buns off and be themselves and do it well. We got the 8 of Wands. This seems like a rapid transformation, but admittedly, Scorpio put in the time, the effort. They, you know, checked all the boxes. They went through all the training, or they have consistently been who they really are. And it's just that everybody seems to notice them all at about the same time. This could feel like a tornado of people suddenly wanting to be around Scorpio. They could be like, you know, the hot kid on the block. Like if this were in the realm of like fame and fortune, this is like when a Hollywood star just blows up seemingly out of nowhere, and they're just faces everywhere. They're in every commercial, they're in every film, everybody talks about them, they're on every talk show. It feels like it could be like everybody wants a piece of Scorpio all of a sudden. And that could be a little bit overwhelming, but maybe in a good way. Scorpio is going to have a lot of people to talk to. They're going to be very sought after for their talents, for their skills, but we've also got people attracted to Scorpio. What does this mean for Scorpio's love life? Because I can't shake the fact that this King of Cups is like, I think I love Scorpio. Oh, we got an ex possibly coming back around with the Judgment card. People could be coming out of the woodworks. People Scorpio hasn't talked to in 10 years, probably more than just one ex. These will be people that want to glom on to Scorpio, ride the coattails. These will be people who are like, well, I worked with Scorpio for like 24 hours one time when we were 17, and we both worked whatever, pulling the slushy machine at the 7-Eleven. But everybody might want to pretend like, remember me, I'm best buds. I feel like Scorpio is going to have to carefully assess everybody's intentions just a little bit, pay closer attention to like, what is the motive for so many people wanting to talk to me all of a sudden? I do feel like Scorpio is going to be exceptionally successful, but in the realm of love, Scorpio is going to need to address, I mean, there could be an ex who's very sincere, who wants to come back into Scorpio's life. This could be somebody Scorpio has wanted, but the timing could just suck because it could bring up like, are you only back because I'm having this glow up in my life? Is that why you're here? Scorpio will need to evaluate somebody's motives, is what it says. The Emperor. I feel like this is a whole different person. This is somebody who they may recognize Scorpio's value, but they're offering something huge. I do not feel like this is the ex. I feel like if anything, Scorpio might need to carefully evaluate some of the people that are going to be coming back into their life, particularly an ex. But I think Scorpio has an Emperor, someone who is, wonderful in their own right. Somebody who could be an Aries energy. They could have one heck of a mustache. It could be a mustache man. No, but they could have a certain swagger to them. This feels like somebody's very wealthy in their own right. Somebody who, whatever they do, they have something to do with like automotive stuff, wheels, gears. They could run a company that like makes something that's part of a bigger process, but something out west also. This always feels like old Western energy, but also some philosophical connection. Like, we've got like a Greek philosopher, like looking at the radius of a circle here, measuring things. It just feels like they're going to be really intelligent. And I kind of feel like this is a great match. I don't know that I think that that's the ex at all. To me, that's somebody totally different. In Scorpio's love life, it says pick the Emperor. If it's an ex who's an Emperor, great. But emperors don't usually not be there for somebody and then show up later on right when they're having a glow up. So my impression is that our Scorpio may have some glow up, and they might have a lot of people coming at them out of the woodwork, including exes, but also somebody brand new, somebody who's not coming to Scorpio for the wrong reasons. An emperor already has his slice of the pie figured out, but he does recognize and appreciate like amazing people. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it says pick the Emperor. All right, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thanks, Scorpio. Take care.